We had more material, let's say, to work with initially was because Charlie was home a lot of the last touring cycle. He had carpal tunnel and he needed surgery, and so there was like a period of time where he was home and he was able to just stay home and work on material and write.
I just think we had a lot more time. There was no deadline for us, so just the stuff just kept coming, and I think that's good for us. Having more to choose from, it's always welcome.
Never in our career have we went in to making a record having more than maybe 12, 13 songs the most. But again, that was because we were on a schedule too, because back in the day you would write a record, record a record, tour, write a record, that. But these days there's no real, it's not urgent to put another record out. And that was the one thing we said. If we had the material, we'd put another record out. If we didn't have the material, we wouldn't put a record out.
Sometime in probably 2013 at some point is probably when was one of the first writing sessions. Charlie just had more stuff to start with, he just had more ideas to say, okay, what do you think of this riff? And then the three of us start working on it, and that becomes the catalyst for a song.
Charlie, Scott, and I would get together in a room, bang out a lot of riffs, whoever comes up with them, all of us do. Then the layer is the melodies come after that. We'll bounce off melodies after that, and then the lyrics come in after that. That's how an Anthrax song is written.
This time we did it some in LA and some in Chicago. So the first batch went out to LA to meet with Scott and Frankie too, and the three of us, worked on the material.
When the three of us get together, it's definitely different ideas coming from each other.
Arrange it and change it here and there, and someone would modify one of the riffs, or someone would say that looks better or that sounds better there. And then once we had a real good start and finish, usually what would happen is Scott would then take it and start applying lyrics.
I would write words, and then it would be me and Frankie basically kind of together with Joey, learning how the song was gonna be, putting it together kind of right there on the spot, like in the room. Here's words, and here's how I envision it, let's make it work, But then that kind of evolved into actually just coming up with melody ideas before there were even words. There'd be the riffs, and Frankie would have an idea and just sing la 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 over it. Here's a melody idea. Oh, that's great. That makes my job easier because now I know how the words are going to fit.
Frankie he's become really good with melodies and stuff with the band, coming up with really good vocal melodies, and we would all work together.
And then Joey comes in on top of that.
Vocally, I've gotten better. I work at what I do, so I try to really find a much better setting for the songs and make maybe even the vocals a lot more cooler and better and bigger, and find a greatest hook that I can for the songs to make these songs a lot more, wide and more enjoyable. I don't know.
And then John with his leads.
I didn't write anything on the record except for solos, so it's just leads, so I wasn't there for any of the process really. So that's been totally different because with Shadows Fall, I wrote a lot of the stuff, so I was always there from the ground up. So this, I just got the demos. He told me where to put the leads, and then I'd go back and forth with Charlie. I would demo out some leads, and if he wanted some stuff changed, we keep going back and forth, and that's pretty much just how I work with this one.
I think everybody's got something to add to each song, so it's a really nice process. It's the way it works is Anthrax.
It becomes this piece of music that we're all 100% with, and that's the best way I could describe how Anthrax works.
But to me, it's all Anthrax. When it comes musically, it's just all Anthrax to me.